Hey everybody! Hey Video Gamer Geek! How's it going? Ah, there it is. I couldn't see the overlay. I thought it was broken, but no, it's fine. So, I was thinking about continuing Machine Key, but I've sort of reached the end of that game for now. And I've sort of been poking this game a few times lately, and Machine Key's really put me back in the mood for it. So, we'll see how we go. Having said that, I have found some these thingies, new griffs. Work on a base that produces 1500 science meter. Ooh, nice. That should be excellent. Yeah, so these new griffs, GRFs being the old file format of the original Transport Tycoon graphics files. So one, just UK waypoints, nothing particularly fancy. Industry one lets me hack in, or what it does, it puts industries that are not normally available in this particular tile set. So for those that don't know, this game has 4 tile sets. So this is temperate, and then there's what is it? Alpine, desert, and then toyland. So this temperate normally doesn't have the food production chain, so there's one there, food factory. This is normally only found in the in the desert and alpine tile sets, where you would deliver livestock, wheat, or maize and fruit to it, I think. Fruit? Yeah, basically pulled everything out. This pulls everything out of the other tile, what would normally be in the tile sets, and put it in this one. Likewise with the copper mine here, which is normally only in the desert tile set, it's now in here. And then the factory, it takes steel, which is normal, so the steel chain's unchanged. It only exists in this tile set, but now it has copper ore and rubber. So hopefully it should make things a little bit more interesting. There's some others as well. There's the wood chain has been changed around, so it goes to a paper mill instead of a straight to a sawmill. Hey, Josh Nils, how's it going? The other one is trains, which GFX Trains, which if I show parameters, it lets me double the base cost and the running costs, just to make it a little bit more difficult, because normally the game's quite simple. As well as that, the starting maximum loan's only 300,000, so I only have 100,000 extra to start with, which is the normal way I play. And pretty much the first thing I always do is, if I go to cargo payment rates, and you can see you basically want to go for the highest paying primary. You can't use secondary, so goods are no good, food's no good, steel is no good. And you see most of them are down here, like passengers are one of the bottommost ones. As always, mail is mediocre in this. It's not as high paying as other games. Hey, you made it in. How's it going? Coal, though, is one of the is basically the highest primary provider in the game, or at least in the temperate climate. So basically, whenever you're in the temperate climate, the first thing you do is build a line from a coal mine to a power station. So what I want to do is pull up the industry directory. Let me sort by production. And now we just look for the coal mine which produces the most coal. They're all down the bottom, so they don't produce coal. 160 tons of coal. So you're down here. There's coal mine. I should also say that I'm also using the original Transport Tycoon tile set, not the OpenTTD tile set. So although it looks very SVGA circa 1996, it still easier on the eyes than the OpenTTD tile set, which, despite being a higher resolution, looks worse somehow. I actually particularly hate the cursor that it gives. Okay, so there's a power station there, it just accepts coal. So we can pick up that one, and we can actually pick up this one as well. The sooner we connect the industry as well, the better, because if we don't connect it reasonably soon, it'll start going down. Now, I normally do a 5. 5's sort of my go-to size. Of course, I need to unpause it. I try to minimize costs by standing around idling. So I really try and min-max this. And just run the line. Over the top will do. Should have tried to avoid those rocks, they do cost a bit. It's funny, it's easier to plough through the landscape than it is to mow down the landscape in this than it is to actually build a tunnel. Let's go to about there. You're not what I want. Get my fingers aligned on the keys. I'm doing it all wrong-ish. 1 unit of depot. There we go. And easier on compression. Well, I'm just throwing stupid amounts of bitrate out. Yeah, this is 133,000, way more than would normally cost. As always with this game, you basically just always go for the fastest engine. So this tells me how many tiles it covers. So it's 3.5, 4 tiles, 4.5, 5 tiles. Just hold down control. I'm gonna get used to the control. Tells it to do full load. Refit coal. It's already set to coal. And that's another thing that the extended graphics for these trains adds, is that you can refit these wagons to other types, which is quite nice. I like that. It's something that I've been looking out for a long time and never seen. I really want to minimize that loan too. Okay, so this should kick off at some point. Next time it pushes out coal, I hope. Oh. I thought I still told it to do coal. Oh, because the refit's free. It's because I looked to it and I saw no cost. Normally in the default game refit costs money. I asked smart. I like to always have the map open just here too. I'll just pin that so when I hit delete, nothing closes. And have the money over here. It sort of consumes a bit of space, especially because I got the in this not that horrible settings thing in the game options. I got the interface set to double size. Otherwise, it's stupidly small. You can't see a damn thing. Don't want to touch that. Double size. And because it's flown off, I can just hit delete. And turbo speed for now. While we wait for things to happen. And hey, Jellico, Jellolo. La 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 la. Money, money, money. Money, money, money. I have a feeling they've tweaked the hills recently. Ding, 35. Not a huge amount, but it's a good start. Important thing is it pays for itself at the very least. So 6,000, yeah, so far so good. It's 99, 103. Yeah, it took a bit of a speed loss. I saw it in another game when I was loading a few days ago. The trains were slowing down in pretty much every corner, but like those, they shouldn't do that. Yeah, that's more like what it should do. I think it was just bound to that particular save file, because it was an old file. And there's already... wow. Okay. It's time to expand already. I always like keeping an emergency 20,000 on hand. I just built in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, train got in the way. Turbo speed it. zoom mode even. Just got to play the waiting game. How much does this train actually cost? 197,000. Oh, that's going to take a while. See ya. Give it a little bit of the extra double track. Oh yeah, I set that. Good thing caught the start of the game. I've never really seen the game. Really? That, and that, and that, and that. These signals are actually something that OpenTTD adds. Normally, the base game only has that type of signal. Pre-signals came with Transport Tycoon Deluxe patch, and then more recently the path signals came in. And yeah, these early signals were part of OpenTTD. OpenTTD abandonware? Technically no. Transport Tycoon Deluxe, yes. But I guess you could call it abandonware in the sense that it barely sees any developer attention these days. Most of this stuff was done in like the mid 2000s. How did I manage that? Oh, now I've got 2 trains. I better slow it down. Or I better speed it up, spartan it up. If that's even an expression. Also, how is Engie still awake? It's filling. I wonder what that station rating's at. Ratings mediocre, not amazing. So yeah, 36%. I need to get that rating up. Okay, so working nights. 3, 4, 5. Stick into the emergency reserve. I normally set the signals 3 tiles apart as well. Just old habits from the original game. It's hard to break. What GRF? So it was not AI. OpenGFX Trains, which lets me turn up the running costs and the purchase price, as well as the graphics are a little bit nicer than the base ones, and the industries, which lets me enable enable the food processing plant in temperate, and change up the wood destination to paper mill, so it goes through the entire paper mill chain. Rubber, iron ore, and rubber, steel, and copper go to the factory now instead of livestock, grain, and steel. And I think that was about it. And oh yeah, oil is still on this tile set, predestined to whittle down to nothing. Which is another thing. Where is it? There. So there's some oil wells. These stopped producing oil. They stopped increasing production after 1962, and then you get oil rigs instead. Which forces you to, in the base game, that forced you to stop transporting oil from oil wells and use oil ships and oil rigs instead. Site factor. It is actually derived from, because Hanzik and V459 are both prominent OpenTTD players. So a lot of elements from Factorio come through on their experience playing this game. Let's get some more passing lane. I can repay that too. I've got to watch the interest. I used to have a cheeky little hack where I'd edit the config to give an even higher interest rate, but they changed the code years ago so that it validates the config, so you couldn't have like 20% interest rate. They kept telling me it just makes it play with higher numbers, but that's not really how interest rates work. Like if you have a big loan and a 20% interest rate on it, the more you borrow, the bigger in the hole you dig yourself. So you've got to be more strategic than just throw money at the problem. Oh yeah, my loan is also set to maximum. My maximum loan is set to, if you missed it when I said it before, 300,000. So I can only borrow 100,000 more than the starting. Whereas most people just play with like the full 1 million, starting 1 million, which you can basically win the game. Well, you can't win the game in this. You have to play the game for 100 years. Oh no, not 100 years. 2050 is when the game ends. But you basically won with the 1 million starting. Even 600,000 starting is a lot. I should use the features added in the OpenTTD. So ceilings is part of the game. Now this is where it gets rather interesting because it has a setting, signals. So there's a setting, signals on drive side. So it actually, when you set the game option for driving side, it puts the signals on the correct side. So normally this game's Transport Tycoon is normally a left-hand drive game. It's made for left-hand drive. So when you enable that setting, no, it's not hosted. Yes, when you change the signals on drive sides, when you have, hey, also, yeah, I totally blanked out on that. So yeah, what I was saying was, so with the signal on drive side, so normally the signals exist on this either side for left-hand drive. With that setting on, and you change this drive side to right-hand drive, they'll appear like this for right-hand drive, so it'll actually mirror the graphic, which is a really nice feature. So the right-hand drive on this doesn't have the signals wedged in the center like the left-hand drive does in Factorio. That's one of the nice features added. That was back in the early days before they went insane. Ugh. It's because I hit that. Just pinged off into the distance. How's our money's doing? How did you get lost? I put a wrong signal somewhere. There it is. Ah. Just control click. Okay, so back down to the base, starting monies. Yep, and he's happy again. And super speed. How are you? 71. Yep, that's managing on those two trains. I think it's time to expand. So 2 by 5. Has it gone down? Yeah, a little bit. Oops, it's Z. For some reason, some German wanted to be able to press the Z button. What was the other one? Yeah, Z, 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 Z. So it centers on the cursor. Yeah, it was like one person wanted that, so it got added to the game. This game really suffers from feature creep from people jumping on the forum and demanding certain features. That's actually basically how the game used to look, this zoomed in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To get the path signal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. I've got the debug thing for train pathing enabled, so you can see the train allocating a path for itself right now. You see it only allocates what's immediately in front of its tile. When it hits a path signal block, it'll allocate the entire route that it will take. Damn, I overshot. Okay, so new... Probably gonna buy you It's a slow one and I really shouldn't. Am I missing chat also? 3, that's all I can afford. Control click and go. Yes, I do. The chat's been really flaky lately. So, like, I haven't. This was the last thing you said before yes, you do was and hi. So, of course, we want that. In fact, I have to hit Z in between what I knew to drop something. Ah. Oh yeah, you were there. Oh, damn it. It's gonna take a lot of getting used to. Refit. Coal, refit. Now go. Just pop the emergency loan. I should probably switch the other chat overlay back on, because normally I spot when the Streamlabs channel, maybe I'll make it persist for longer. That way I can actually see it on OBS's preview. It is set to clear very quickly. Hide messages after 15, I'll make it 20. There we go. Now we play the waiting game. Why not pop out chat? I actually have 2 chats open, but sometimes it just stops working. I have dashboard and pop out. Usually one comes and goes, and usually the pop out one stops working, and then I'll see the dashboard one. But lately, the past week, it's really been pretty dodgy. I might just super speed it. Hopefully I won't be negative for too long. Nope. How's the loan interest? No interest is nothing. It's so easy to overcome. Loop, loop, loop. Alright, let's move on to something else. There's a 512 by 512 map, it's only a tiny one. Loop. Oh yeah, and cargo distribution is on for passengers. What else can I connect to? I suppose I could connect some passengers up. This has... yeah, there's a shop. What is it? Shop as a destination. Huh. Not really familiar with that. That's a rubber plantation. Tempted to connect those 2 towns together. It's just sort of isolated though. It's a bit better. It's a bit close though. I might just stick with this one. Oh, a bank just appeared. Bonus. Let's make some room. Just gotta go all out with a 4x5. Oh. Let's get right in there. Whee. I'll have to build double track inevitably. Let's see, let's go about there. Eh. I'm struggling a bit with the hotkeys. It's been a while, as I say. They're going to be like that, are they? So there's a bit of a cheat when that happens. Just demolish everything. Then just plant trees around them. Should make them happy again. There we go. There, where I get it from when you see it in Machinki. Now you want to go there, I think. Ah, yeah, perfect. What about you, the starting point? Did you say wake about 5 to 6 hours more? Isn't it middle of the day for you? Ah, now I have to play the waiting game. Turbo speed. Also, unlike Machinki, this has what's called selectable goods, which is an old patch from Transport Tycoon patch where it'll only start inputting what's in the catchment area once the train with that cargo in its consist first appears there. Because of the sleeping thingamus. Ooh, train. Faster train, actually. When you get the offer, you have to use the train within that 1 year time span, otherwise you don't get any more offers. I got 2 wagons on there. Stop mooning, I can't afford it. It's mail, it carries mail. Good to know. 1 more, or 3 more actually. There we go. And off you go. Need a new mouse? Why not play Transport Fever? I don't like Transport Fever. It's because everything in Transport Fever, everything's fixed. The entire economy is predetermined. So there's basically only one way to play the game, and then it's basically solved. Just pick up anything the first time round, so yeah, 9 passengers to any station. And it says any station because there's only one destination. It's just from A to B. What's that at 63? It's gone down again. Hopefully this one's gone up. Yes, it has. Buttons on your old mouse die. Got some recycled dowels from work. Yeah, as a painting works. So you go from a forest to a paper mill, and then paper mill to printing works, and then printing works to large towns. So this would accept goods, so this is the sort of place to go to. What do you got on you? It's reasonably full. Oh, you got a bank as well. Now I can do the other cheat and hold. Oh, assholes. Trees. There we go. What kind of money are you gonna give me? Not much. Passengers don't pay well in this. Unless you move bulk passengers very long distances. Yeah, 10,000. This one isn't even. See, it's yellow, which because it made less than 20,000. These are doing quite well for such a short run. It's when you get the big long runs that you start seeing big money. That could be a good one. But going over here, moving that would be a decent one. This map's actually pretty forgiving, it's not that mountainous, it's pretty flat. So it's easy to run a line across the map. I should set up a valuables train. Valuables on the output. A bit questionable. Just gotta build up that money again. That was 108, wasn't it? Yeah. Alright. Let's connect you. Let's also not accidentally move the window in the process. Let's take it off turbo speed. And make me ways across the map. I better commit too far. I don't want to hit the farmland. Farmland's expensive to build on. Farmland is generally bad. What about there? Get across this canal thing. Oh, just built what I wanted straight away. Yeah, canals are another. Those canal river things are another OpenTTD thing specific. They weren't in the original game. Where are we at down there? There, to there, to there. There and around. Drop that and up into here. Now I think it's time to upgrade to a second platform. Give that another track as well. I'm making a path junction. And track to there. Go. Ah, the first jet. Let's plop that there somewhere. I need to get this thing moving. Buy that. Coal. I'll remember to do it this time. And only not full load. Did I just tell it to do full load and unload? Yes, I could. And off you go. Allowing for the inevitable, I should actually expand the track. So I probably could have committed to it to a track station straight off, but I will. Yeah, there's the train allocating the path to exit. Can also do that. Stations in this have they assume to have a station signal, which is also unique to this. I don't know of any other game which has that. Unless Transport Fever does, I'm not sure. Or those sorts of games. You're even higher, aren't you? 216. It kind of breaks the way the game works, though, to give it stations. The thing is, it doesn't always have that implicit signal thing. It only has it when it's part of a path junction. A path signaling junction. So in this case, it's purely block signaling based. You can actually see it's all allocated there. But then once it becomes part of a path junction, it gains that internal station signal. That was actually another point of contention years and years ago. Because people wanted to put signals on the platform and they couldn't understand why they couldn't. Stupid people being stupid, basically. It's like the long reach of signals on bridges, tunnels, and station platforms is like the long reach of Transport Tycoon. That's actually another rule that this game has, is you can't put signals on bridges. You used to not be able to put signals under bridges, but that was changed as well. Originally it was a limitation in the game engine, as it couldn't describe a signal under a bridge. Oh, I went down. What's it going to cost? A lot. Are you making money yet? 16 versus 8. Not really. You don't want that. It's a crap train. How's this train doing too? Oh, it's making a bit of money. More than these. Oh, it does make money, I guess. Because it is moving large stations, which is... Normally I try and keep the town small in the generation, but I don't care anymore. Is the train left yet? Nearly. Just do a bit more of our super speed. There we go. I gotta trash that. Put one of those on. Too bad I can't afford it. Should be able to push shortly. Ah, here we are. Now what do you give me? All the money. There we go, let's do that so they can path. And off you go. So this pre-signal based junction is still based on absolute blocking, so when the train pulling out blocks that train from leaving. But pre-signals. I'm old. Old-fashioned with the game. And then path signals kind of ruin the game. They always did. It's a thing that everyone wanted, myself included, but it's a thing that ultimately ruins most of the fun of the game, most of the strategy. Because you no longer have to do any work. There, and there. Give it another passing lane for the inevitable time when it needs one. I wonder how much that'll fill it up. to there. Almost full. Train's filling up in this fill from the first wagon to the back, instead of filling them all evenly. It's a good way to visually tell how full the train is. Alright, it's a method I like, at least. I could probably put another train on it. How are your mail? You're using all your mail wagons. Mediocre. Definitely just do a bit of that. Get the cheeky coverage up. Can't deny it, we all do it. In one way or another. Used to do it in the old game. Just push the catchment area out with some bus stops. It just cuts out the walking process. Walking a station, that is. Or you would put one type of station, then another, and then another, and you'd walk the station out to expand it. What do you cost? 230. So I got a super speed till I get a 230. So 252, I had a feeling that would happen. I'd supply more trains, it'll just go up and up. It's been a good money maker. I'll just get the rating up too, which will hopefully get more passengers appearing. I'd also make the local authority less unhappy with me. I should also consider double tracking it, that would be a good idea. That way the train can actually traverse from each end without getting each other's way. Or at least pretend to. Okay, go there, there, and there. I might as well do that. I'm never going to use the path signaling anyway. Super speed. I normally don't use that super speed that much. Just to keep things moving. What do I make down here? 25. No, nearly paid it off. There we go. So I paid it off in 8 years. It's pretty slow. But that's why I have the loan down. If I had a 600,000 loan, I could probably have $1 million in 2 years. So 96, 38. Should have signed another train to it. I think I'll have to do the same to that one. Sign a train to it just to push it up. This helps, yeah, push the rating up. The higher the rating, the higher the chance of it going up. $71, $78. Alright, slow that down. The same as be true with this one. There we go. Super speed 54, and now... Yep, 63 is flying up. It's not actually possible to get it to 100 until like 1980 in the game time. Even low 90s is pretty difficult. 64, 65. I think the best you can do is like high 70s at about this time. The station rating is fiendish, the way it's calculated. A train has to be... that's determined by speed, how much or percentage per month is delivered, how old the train is. So as the train gets older, the rating deteriorates over time. That's the really harsh one. So you start losing points once the train's more than 2 years old, or losing percent. I think in late rail, electrified rail, you can get it near 100, but it's tricky. And then you need a monorail or maglev to really push it up to 100. It's time to plan some more industry connections. Wouldn't mind connecting up like that power station eventually, or maybe... yeah, just have it off into one corner, out the way. What else we got? Oh, nearly $1 million in train income. Let's disable all. Let's start with some iron ore and steel mill. That's a good steel mill. 63. Bleh. 30. Bleh. 80. That's a good number, and 80 is about default. 108 is quite good. 24. No others. Ugh, loud. Where's the other one there? Oh no, that's a steel mill. And there's a copper ore mine there, it's 108. It's funny, there's a steel mill right there, but I'm going to completely ignore it. Time to go across the map over to here. I think it's, yeah, sometimes it accepts, still must accept passengers. You don't get anything out of going that close. Like 8,000 per delivery. That'll probably close down too. Okay, let's take it along to here. Sneak through about there. And there, and there. Zoom out a bit so I can actually see. I'm actually mixing up the controls quite a lot. Because this is hold down right mouse for panning. It's a really old-fashioned way of doing it these days. Okay, so I want to go there. I've pretty much got the money where I can... I won't do that. Go up one, then plough through. You know, and I did attempt to try and slow down my craziness with ploughing through the landscape. I could try and weave through there. These radio towers are immovable. Get that out of the way for now. Yeah, so you can't raise them, so these will bind the terrain to that height. I might have to go around. For now. I suppose it's, I don't want to completely devastate the landscape before 1960. Then again. I just spent all my money. More money. I should have been a little more frugal. Instead of just smacking it down. In the original, the terrain manipulation was really cheap. Screw the land. Yeah, it hasn't done anything for me lately. See, it's radio tower there is blockaded. How am I going to there? Super speed, money. Bit of a downy bit, but oh well. I suppose I can fix the levels as soon as I have money. What was that? No longer accepts iron ore? Ah, it happened. It's a good thing there's one just down there. So what can happen is industries close down if you don't service them. It's the bane of many a transport tycoon player. That's why you got to invest early. Hey, you in love with this game? It's a great game. I struggle to play it these days because I played it a lot back in the day. Nothing's really been able to match it though. This game, nothing since it came out. The closest, well, apart from, so this is Transport Tycoon, the Deluxe, referring to OpenTTD really added everything that was missing from it, and Chris Sawyer's answer to OpenTTD, but didn't really go anywhere. Next best modern thing is machine gear. I need some super speed money. There we go. There. It's nice that they kept the original key controls too. Ugh. All over the keyboard today. Okay, let's signal the entire thing. That's such a cheaty move, but it's so handy for big networks. There we go. And you're down to 90. Now I just gotta wait for the monies to roll in. At about 250, I think it was. That'll do it. 5 to there and to there, and refits to iron ore And off you go. Be gone. How much does it cost? 218. What was it complaining about? Oh, because I spent like a bajillion on construction. How are these stations doing? The renderer on this can be really weird, so zooming in and out helps to clear it up. It's sort of there. So zoom in and out and then the coal disappears. It's kind of glitchy. Always has been. I'm going to send that one on its way. It'd suck if that steel mill closed. It doesn't normally happen to me though. I never normally a problem. Generally I try and get on the industries that I want early with some sort of basic service, just to keep it from closing. If you dawdle, then you're more likely to have the industry close. There's a lot of RNG involved too. So I have a steel mill there. Yeah, so I was thinking about a power station over there and it's closed. So you really want to pick the industry that you want early. But that one will do. Ah, diesel. Same speed as this, but it's a bit nicer. Ooh, straight go with the auto host. I've got to think about food plants and food and stuff too. There's actually not a lot of primary industries. There's only 2 more coal mines, 3 more. Yeah. Oh, and that one. 4 more. What are you doing? Nada. And you are pretty good for that distance. You're mediocre for that distance. And ooh, I want that coal mine. I need that coal mine in my life. The menu. Yeah, I could, but I like having it on, just to get rid of the trash that I don't want. As I say, it never hugely bothered me in the original game. I plan out what I want early. It's just on this map I haven't really planned out what I want. I've got the, I don't know if you saw the beginning, I've got the GFX plus Industries enabled, and I've set it up to give me most of the Arctic and desert climate functionality. So rubber and copper ore is here, food is enabled, and livestock, grain and fruit go to food plants instead of factories accepting livestock, grain, steel. It's a measly 16,000, but at least it's guaranteeing the steel mill's production. And yeah, oil's as it would be, because I normally don't do oil. And I've got the trains set to double running costs and such. I had them at 3 times, but it was a little bit much. I was sort of a little bit too razor edge. Right, I need to get this thing in my life. It's like too amazing to let it go. 2x5. I'll probably keep the trains at 2x5, or trains at 5 long. Again, old habits. I can't break out of the old restriction the game had. Just doing the pre-signal junction just because I can. Screw you, mountains. One day I'll get the hotkeys right. think I'd know by now. I think the issue is more relearning the hotkeys. Getting my finger positions right again. It's coming back. Nowhere near as fast as I used to be though. I used to fly along. Classic acceleration models used to punish. Oh yeah. Oh, that classic acceleration. They punish you for corners too. Ugh, speaking of corners. Back myself into a corner there. This game took a lot of hours away from you. Oh yeah. I can attest to that. It is such a time sink. A very amazing time sink. But a time sink. Oh. There's always a wooden trestle getting in your way. That's the thing I never understood with the game. Like, if you expand 3 tiles, the difference between prices of all these bridges is just so non-existent. It's not worth having these. It makes no sense. A lot of games are all time sinks. They sure are. There is that other GRF for expensive slow short bridges, I think it was called, that addresses that. I should normally have that on. I think I forgot about it. Oops, out of money. Oh. Turbo speed. Turbo monies. There we go. I just raced over the canal piece. There goes the money. Turbo money. There we go. Nope, missing a tile. I just saw the gap on the map. Oh, out of money again. How are you doing? I think I got a high freight multiplier from memory too. What did I do? Oh, everything had to be expanded. Let's see, vehicles. Vehicles, physics, realistic. Steepness slope, default 3 is on 4%. It's a little bit higher, but multiplier, that's why. I had that up high. Yes, it's picking up speed now. If I take it down to 1, it should just fly up to top speed. Add that on for another set of GRFs. Because the powers on it were ridiculous. That explains a lot. That was the UK train set, I think it was, that I did that for. Oh, He's found his peak. He's trying. Not succeeding at getting faster. So how much money does he get for going most of the way across the map with iron ore? Be like 100k at least, surely. Probably not. 124? 84? Attention's killing me. 90. Oh, 218. Get that rating up. As long as you get the percentage above like 70%, I think it was, it's generally pretty good. You eliminate the chance of the industry closing down or just dropping production. Oh. What's this one doing? 252. It's going up still. How about you? You're 40. It's just having a bad time. You're just mediocre. I'll have to do some turbo speed money. There we go. Speaking of, who is not paying the bills? You. Yeah, that mine. Well, up a little bit. Not a huge amount though. Yeah, there's profit last year message. That should be enough to turbo speed money to progress for a little while. It's a town. I don't want to go through a town. It takes time to go through a town. It's time that I can't be bothered spending on going through it. It's basically possible to pull up all the buildings on a town. Yeah, that should give me... Ah, crap, I forgot about that. Oopsie. Iron ore production decreases. Jerks. I am heading for that rubber plantation, so I probably should do something about that. Might go that side of it. So level tool's a dangerous thing to be given. Just gotta do some turbo speed money making, but I didn't need to. Let's go about there. Yeah, why not? It's only 13,000 in signalling. Turbo speed. Oh, I made him angry. There we go. Actually, instead of a bridge, I could do a tunnel. So, tunnel there. And there, and there, and there. And there, there. Just splay all those signals out everywhere. That'll do. And there. Should have signals all the way back to here. There's a train that's already delivered. Ooh, a delivery. $125, I need like 218. Super speed. Super speed fixes everything. There we go. Actually, I got you. You're 118 versus 154. 12,000 versus 10,000. Something that I always check out for is to see if the diesel's engines are cheaper in a train game. So technically they should be orders of magnitude cheaper relative to steam engines. Gotta pin that depot and also pin that engine. Because I'm going to need a lot of these. It did refit, didn't it? Yes, it did. Good. How much do you cost? 183. That's considerable decrease over GFX station size. I saw the image of station much larger. You can actually change it to basically like, I think the absolute maximum is like 127. Yeah, the way you do it is normally you just keep placing them longer. Just keep adding on to the end. It's too much clutter on the screen. Yeah, so you go like that, and then that, and then that, and just keep on going until you reach station 2 spread out error. I got the spread pretty high. There it is. Station 2 spread out. Station 2 spread out. There. So that's the max length for the spread, but I can just turn up the spread to fix that. Number of Mac tracks. Oh, sorry. How much did this take? 4, 6. Me no pay attention to. 4, 6, 8, 10. Again, it's bound by spread. But there is a setting. Oh, I made them angry. Where you can... I think there was a setting... There was a setting for max tracks. But it's also bound by spread. Let's see... yeah. 16 tiles is the spread. Train length, and you can turn this up. When this thing was originally added, it just struggling. Automatically pushed it up to 127 tiles. Yeah, even though the numbers go to 7 there, you can just keep on adding until you reach the spread maximum. Or you run out of money. But yeah. What a mess. Don't have money for that. Oh, it's almost there. There's gonna be some extraordinary amount of money. I hope. The old limit was 4x5, so I have a habit of sticking to it. Oh, I lost it instantly. Off you go. There it is. Boom. But yeah, you can just keep adding to it. Another thing you can do is when you hold down Control and press to build a station, you'll get this dialog coming up too. And so you can attach it to a nearby station or do build separate station. And I think if I say that one, oh no, it'll do it. So this is now connected to that. I actually thought it'd say station 2 spread out, but oh, it's fine. Oops. Oh dear. The trains will actually path to the greyed out station until it disappears and becomes invalid. That's why they gave you the remove tool. No, not the remove tool, the remove tool for stations, so you can actually do that. It's funny actually, because you have to put it back. Oh no, must have been a... You used to not be able to build the station back over the top of the track. That's changed. It shows you how current I am. Even though I played this game on and off since like 2010 or 2009, my mindset for this game still lives in 2009. It's funny actually, in the early multiplayer days when you could just build the 127 long trains, people would find a coal mine that produces a lot and then just set up a 100 wagon long train to a power station and then just win the game effectively. They just have all the money. I should probably double this up. Oh, too far. Just crash in with the zoom. Crash into the ground, that is. There we go. That's all joined up. Actually, there wasn't another... No, there wasn't. How are you? 92, 99, 54. It's still meh. And you're 279. That's actually gone up. How is passengers doing? I suppose I could throw another train on it. You're running at a loss on purpose. I'm trying to run them at a loss to pump up the station. I think the passengers are doing best. But these trains are going to be contenders to beat it. Ooh, another train. I'll actually get more because it's didn't have to wait so long for the load. Spent most of its time travelling. Yeah, 171, that's more like it. That's what it should be giving. Hey, made it in back again. Oh yeah, the money's rolling in now. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Up, nope. So, and off you go. Gotten into negative profits yet? That's where profit's at. We're at 1.1 million in the income. Only 64,000 on the profit, because I'm spending it as fast as I'm getting it. See that property maintenance though, creeping up. What does it get? Like 28,000. It makes a little bit, but it just bangs it the money so frequently. Just because there's so much waiting. Just hammers out money. Been watching the VODs when I get a chance. Aye, nice. I haven't actually been doing much lately. It's mostly been the Colonel Will stuff, so I've been off the my channel doing my own thing. Or I haven't been doing much of my own thing on my channel because of the joint efforts. There's more of that tomorrow actually. Or later today, depending on where you are in the world. When Will's on again, there'll be more of that train set stuff. Did SpaceX finish? Yeah, it has. The final time, what was it? 18 hours something minutes. I really can't remember what it was. Oh yeah, I did it and time to spare. What was it at the time? Just checking Discord. "18 hours 26 minutes. Hey, Liquid Media, how's it going? Doing pretty good. Did I pay off the loan? Yes, I did. I should be pushing nearly 2 million by the end of the year. All good here? Wonderful. It's down a bit. It's hovering steady. I reckon if you really pushed it, and really pushed the bot, like, so you build a bot base, and then push a full bot-based final base, you could do it even quicker, if we planned out everything properly. Banned from another Twitch chat, eh? Turn off handcrafting, doing 100% run. I believe the way the multiplayer team did it was they unbound the open crafting menu key for everyone except for the leader. So they couldn't open their crafting menu and accidentally craft something. Anti's channel. I suppose it's not going to grow production on its own. How are you doing? 18, that's dead. Stabler! Thank you. Stabler, thank you for the follow. Sounds kind of French. Oh, the way I said it sounds kind of French. Stabler. Stabler. They're both terrible as well. It's probably the only good other iron ore mine on the map. Is this something I want to know about? Or is this something that transpired when I wasn't around? Well, obviously I wasn't around because I'm never around on Andy's channel. Your profit. Ah, there you. Yep, 2 million. Kind of getting into this music. It does audio glitches? What's up with audio glitches? Where are we there? I'll just keep going diagonal. Oh, that's a level up. Alrighty. Hey, it's a Fearless Pro. One unit of bridge. I'm already into the bridging stage. I miss bridges. Factorio, nah, sucks with no bridges. And the compromised way of laying out track. It's nice to be free again. I won't be able to clone it because it's actually a steam train. You're 64, I might just cut you in half. Refit to iron ore. Go there full load, go there unload, if you can. I don't like setting unload orders directly, that way it doesn't make an oopsie. And you go there. That's this. Direct train to boiler setup. Amazing potential. I'd actually like to see that. Yeah, we don't need to hear any more about the speedrunning stuff. I actually started watching your run Actually, I kind of sort of fell asleep partway through it, so I've got to watch it again. Ooh, more platforms needed. Just make a sprawling mess of track. That'll do it. Getting up, you're a little bit higher, and you're better not going down, nope. Hey, Sunny Honey Bunny. I should find a factory to move the steel at some point. So is the factory still the same purple? Yes, it is. That's printing works. That's a food hole. That's a factory. What else? The factories there, and 3 of them there, and there, and there. Not amazing places. I like to move them across map. As it is, it's pretty meh. There to there is not great. How about copper? Oh, copper ore mines go to factories anyway. Iron ore. Still got these 2 down here. They're all for you, 40 and 30. And this one was like, yeah, 18. That's gonna close down. There. And 54. It's hardly justifiable. Printing works. What do we got for forests? No, forests in the middle. Paper mill is forest, and I could try paper mill, forest to paper mill. Let's start that line. I'm trying to avoid farms. Farms will cost money. Can I get a, you should have a reg. Ah, picture. I see. Oh, that's the mega train. Yeah, so there's the wood hole. My eyes are... It's staring... There it is. It's staring me right in the face and I couldn't see it. It's hidden in plain sight. Yeah, so you take the wood. And you're normally an alpine climate. I'm surprised it doesn't... I was going to say, I'm surprised it's not covered in snow. But I guess I cleaned up the graphic. That also isn't the normal timber forest graphic. These are actually all pretty good. Take them up to the air, I think. Enable. Or maybe there. Ah, there. Alright, let's do this. I did that very badly. Okay. I'm gonna need a full junction. I'll do it back here. Nope, I'm gonna hit a signal there. Make the curve nice and wide anyway. How big is that? 226.2. That's a big train. Go. Alright, so now I can go both directions. Oh, in saying that, I need to better pick up that direction too. Damn it all. Stupid mountain. Okay, you can go down. Now I'll just bridge it. There. Doop. Huh. Set the test certificate. There we go. I made a complete mess. It's a pretty mess though. How do I decide where to put bridges? Generally it depends on the train speed, because bridges have a maximum speed limit, and so the later trains can't handle the speed, and so I revert to tunnels, but it's basically either or. I could have done either. Because this one had to go down, I decided to use a tunnel though. Oh, new expansion. I really lost interest in City Skylines though. I'm still, it's the one after Snowfall. I really didn't get far into it though. So that one could have been a tunnel, but it is actually a bit longer, I think. Single-handed merry-go-round's probably the way to go for a power plant. That's what I found. It's what I did with mine. It's pretty much how all power plants run, I think. Isn't it? So, how many has that got? 2. Throw another one on it. Now these 2 forests. Let's hook these ones up. I'll probably do a path junction joining these, since it's low volume technically. go. Oh, I gotta do this junction too. Oops, slight misclick there. I haven't got the next train yet on the 1 year early offer. Ooh, combinatorless, even better. Bulk, flatbed is wood. No, you take wood. I know I haven't actually connected up the track yet. There's nothing stopping me from starting the trains first though. I've got to do a not control. You go there, you go there. You duplicate and you guys go. And I'll just go straight up. City's got your YouTube going. It's generally a good way to get views, city skylines. So this one, I do a tunnel because it's going down. And join up here to make a high-speed junction. Oops, gap. A little bit of gappage. Loading, you're loading, that's good. Oh, it reminds me of RimWorld. I haven't been back to that in ages. Would anyone actually watch if I played RimWorld? Anyone be interested? Be all about it? I've always been a bit low on the motivation for it. Otherwise I would have done it sooner. Oh, that's a terrible spot. Sure, excellent. Oh yeah, you know you can use boilers as an exchange instead of what is it? Instead of the chests. It's something I thought of a little while ago. You may have already implemented it or something, I don't know. But it means you can do similar to what Exterminator's doing with the tanks in his switcheroo. The only catch is the boilers don't really hold anything. Oh, I didn't clone it. There we go. Hey, Cooksy! I should look into some of the RimWorld mods actually. I haven't really played heavily modded games. I think it's time I gave a few mods a go. Bringing it down to the same level would really help. So what I've done is I've left space to do a bridge there, and that usually gives a nice compact junction. There we go. So that's 3 forests connected. Has anyone been here yet? Okay, train's leaving. This will be a modest income. Oh yeah, the caravan stuff. I made a few caravans when it was first introduced. I still need to learn it though, how to do caravans properly. Okay, first wood train I think. Let's see, yeah, I think it is the first wood train. Yeah, it took a speed hit there, it's too tight. Time travels much slower. Oh, that's good. It was so slow. 53, yeah, it's modest. I figured it would be for the distance that I'm moving. And wood is sort of a middle of the road payment rate. Where was it? Oh no, it's actually a high one. It's up there with. It's not quite coal, but it's up there with mail. No, not mail. Oil. Higher than I remember. Let's get rid of fruit. So livestock and grain are pretty terrible. Oh damn it! Can't quite afford one actually. Alright, I'm gonna go somewhere else then. It's a paper mill, rubber plantation. Where is it? I just cannot see it. Oh look, some oil rigs now. I didn't even notice. I genuinely cannot see it right now. That colour. Printing works, paper. Yeah, because that's paper mill. That's the one I want. Ugh. I are smart. Because I'm looking at the rubber plantation. Genius, it is genius. 1 to 2 week trip is now in 16 is now 1 to 2 days. Oh, 6 to 2.5 years ago from the North Pole to the rainforests. Yeah, it was ridiculous. Okay, so I'm gonna have to move that stop. This one. Down to here, I think. Which is handy because it's similar goods to what's already there. That. Go there. Because of the shared orders, I only have to set one for that lot. So it'll remove everyone else associated. Now, where are you lot going? Okay, so you've inherited the order correctly. I did it right. So I'm not going to try and turn around and make a mess. So I like the low range of the drop pods. I used to always mod the trading ships. The more trading ships thing. So scrap's no longer needed. Almost actually. I'll have to give him a way to turn around. Yeah, now I'm gonna moan about being lost. But it's not gonna moan about having no path at least. One thing I like about this game is the trains don't moan about being... They complain that they're lost, and they still try and blunder their way in the general direction. They don't just slam to a stop and say no path. Makes it a lot easier to diagnose. It also means you can work on stuff without trains getting all stuck and jammed. So while I'm working on this, they'll still blunder in my general direction. I'm just going to do it the old-fashioned way, the most effective way. Yeah, still lost. Not for much longer. There we go. Oh. Alright. Change the max fuel for them. Yeah. Trade ships go in the scenario, but uneven trade ships. You're lost still, apparently. I have a backwards signal. Yep. Ah, missed it. Will he take the 90 degree? Nope. Forbid 90 degrees on. Oh, you stupid train. Go. Trees and friends, no they're not. Definitely not in this game. Yeah, you found your home. Oh, they're gonna find that turnaround anyway that I put in. I'm gonna leave that path in and that one too, just in case. There might be future needs for it. Lots of mod still breaks the game. Yeah. Oh, of course I can't go there. Just playing the game for long enough on a single save lags the game. How are we doing down here? 297, it's climbing. You are 96. What are you? You are 207 now. But full consist trains. Should go out. Oh, that's a new one, is it? I think it is because it says 0. I've never added enough mods to have conflicts. I know there can be a problem. remember before the suds gave, it was grinding along. Hopefully I can get that iron ore mine up. And they're finally slowly finding their way over here now. Paper to printing works, printing works. Printing works. 6 on the map, I don't know if you can see that. And that's all the different printing works. Could extend it down to there. It's a nice one on the edge of the map. It's close to the coal mine. Or I could go all the way over there. It's another good option. Humble Bundle's having a Borderlands sale. Does that mean you can get the add-ons for Borderlands 2 for just under $300? All the DLC? There's another game I can't actually get into anymore, is Borderlands 2. I'm all Borderlands'd out. How's this doing? Reasonably good. Have played any of Borderlands? Yeah, fun games. Damn, this has been a really bad map for Industries closing. Never normally have that problem. Ah, co-op's good. I've played 4-player with some friends. It was actually friends of friends. I sort of became friends with them, and we did a 4-player. It's good fun. That time, one of them found one of those Torg guns called a hard root in the Sanctuary Hall. That was a good day. History cleaning mod. I've heard of that too. Don't know what it's called. Just Borderlands 1 and 2. Of course, it doesn't include the ones that no one ever speaks of. That way, intersection bridges and tunnels. Which one? That one or this unholy, questionable monstrosity? This is sort of a standard way of doing it that I do. So it goes over the bridge because it has an extra large signal block, and then it has a lead-in of 2-3 tile train lengths. The unholy monstrosity. Yeah, and this is a more concise one. Organic yet purposeful feel to it. Oh dear. Borderlands 2 for $5.13. That's cheap. Used to do roundabouts? Yeah, it used to be the thing a long time ago. It was always encouraged. For some reason, it was argued that it was cheaper, even though it was marginal. Should actually save it just in case too. Yeah, there's all the saves. Actually, I should consider going to bed. I might do that, actually, so I need to get up for the Colonel Will stuff later. So, what I might do, since you're keen on junctions, I wonder which one has crazy junctions. Let's dip that very far. Oh yeah, that one's insanity. Yeah, there you go. This is what late game looks like for me. How's that for a junction? Hey operator, what we were doing in the morning? More train set mod, train set map. Go, go, go! And this is only a small one too. Oh, this is only a small network that I set up. I haven't done one of these in so long. Stupid factory. Car goods. Oh, this has got a UK set enabled too. But this is how you do a mainline actually. This is a thing that my mainline Factorio blueprint is based off of. And so you've got the full row going on. This works in the Pathfinder lets you do it, so it works in this properly. Whereas you wouldn't do this in Factorio because the trains would just do stupid things everywhere. Whereas this, the trains generally find where they want to go. You never have trains going through the wrong... If trains are going through here, it means there's something wrong with where they're supposed to go. But yeah, it's tiny. I've got bigger ones. Wonder how did it go? It repaths per tile rather than once at the start of the journey. So all this sort of stuff actually works. See how it actually chooses dynamically. So he'll turn off that one, so it'll go round. Factorio just can't do that at all. Same down here. Like if a train here is set on a path, this one will change at the very last frame. So all this stuff actually works, whereas a Factorio doesn't. You gotta allow for it and come up with ways around it. See, two trains going at the same time. It does happen. Because this one's already committed. Cause a real jam when that happens. What it means is there's not enough choices for it to go down when that happens. It means you need to add more platforms. Or the train's not fast enough for the junction, which is also the case here, needs faster trains. But yeah, this is only like 1989. When was it started? 1950. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna leave it there. I need to go to bed. Go to sleep. Best game ever? Oh yeah. Yeah, so later on we'll be in what, 8-10 hours, something like that, will be the kernel will train set map again. I'll be there for that. And I'll definitely continue this next time. Whenever that next time will be, I'm not entirely sure. Probably the same time as now, tomorrow. Other than that, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.